Hello everyone, Miss Demmer here. Today our I can statement is I can explain how to solve algebraic expressions. So we're going to be taking what we've done the last few days and we're either going to show how to do it or we're going to explain what they did to figure it out. So if it says multiply by 3, remember in a PAM balance, and we're on page 295. In a PAM balance, what we do to one side, we have to do the other. So if I multiply 3 on this side, then I have to multiply 3 on this side. So this is going to give me 30, and this is going to give me 3x. Then it says add 18. Well, if I add 18, is this a like term with my x? No, it's not. So it's just going to be 3x plus 18. Then we go to the other side, and yes, we can add 18 to 30 because these are like terms. So we get 48. Now we add 2x to both sides. Now my like terms here, that gives me 5x plus 18. 48, I can't add 2x there, so I'm just going to add 2x right there. Okay? It's all we did is we took what they told us to do and we put it into perspective. Make sure that we have those like terms there. Now, this is simply what we're going to be doing today, or you're going to be explaining like they did over here. So, now we're going to do the opposite of what they did on problem 2. So we're going to see what they get here. Okay? So 5x plus 18 equals 2x plus 48. Well, if I look here, I'm going to look at what's gone first. I see my 2x is gone first. And this 5x became 3x. Well, if I subtract 2x on both sides, that is going to become 0. And that's going to become 3x. So what they did here is subtract 2x. Now we look at the next one. Well, I notice this 30 is different and the 18 is gone. So if I do the inverse operation like we talked about yesterday, that becomes 0. And 48 minus 18 gives me 30, so they subtract 18. I'm just saying what they did. Now I look here. Well, we got to get that x by itself. And if we're looking at our multi-step algebraic expressions, we need to get the number on the opposite side of the variable. Now we're going to have to undo the multiplication or division. Because we already got the number on the opposite side, now we have to undo this. Since they're multiplying here, we're going to divide. So that gives us x, and that gives us 10. So what they did is they divided by 3. Now if you notice on the problem right above it on number 2, it's the same thing, we just worked backwards on it. Okay, we did the opposite way. So this is all we're going to be doing today. We're either going to be explaining or we're going to be doing like they're doing here. So on page 296, we're going to be doing what they tell us. Remember, PAM balance is what we do on one side, we must do to the other. So for subtracting 2, I have to subtract 2 to both sides. So 7 minus 2 gives me 5, but n and 2 are not like terms. So it's just going to be n minus 2, since they are not like terms. Now we're going to multiply both sides by 4. So if I multiply this side by 4, I get 20. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. We're just going to keep it like this. Okay, now if you would like to, you could do the distributive property here. So we could make this 4n. A positive and a negative make a negative number. So 4 times negative 2 gives me negative 8. Okay, so we get that. Now it tells us to add 2n. If I add 2n to one side, I must do it to the other. So I add 2n to both sides. That gives me 6n minus 8. Add 2n here. Are these like terms? No, so it's just going to be 20 plus 2n. Now, we are going to check that 7 is a solution to each p balance. So simply is all you're going to do is put 7 in for n. So looking at this right here, and I easily could have kept this and just added 2n at the end here. Either one of those is correct. They're both the same thing. So I'm going to put or 4 times n minus 2 plus 2n. Doesn't matter which way that you did it. Okay? We just added the 2n before, but you'd still get the same answer. So right now, we're going to put 7 in for our n to see if that is the correct answer. So I'm going to do, if you do this one, that's fine. If you do this one, that's fine. So I'm going to do this one right here. So I have 6 times 7. So all I'm doing is anything that has n, I'm putting 7 in for. Minus 8 equals 20 plus 2 times 7. I do my multiplication first. My distributive properties, so I have 42 minus 8. 2 times 7 is 14. 42, if I subtract that from 8, well, think 42 minus 2 more gets me to 40. I have 6 left over, so 40 minus 6 gets me to 34. 20 plus 14 also equals 34. So yes, that works. What I love about algebraic expressions is we can always recheck our answers. Okay, we are going to do one more problem here before I let you go off on your own and work on this. If you are struggling, go back, rewatch the video, ask me questions. Okay, it's simply what we've been doing the last few days. We're just either explaining or we're doing what we've been doing. So here we go. We need to say what they did first here. Well, I'm looking at this, and this is our equation. And I notice that this 2n is gone on both sides. Well, if they subtracted 2n on both sides, they're both going to cancel out and give us 0. Because 2n minus 2n is 0. So they subtract 2n. Now I look at the next one. I notice that the 4 is gone. Well, I'm thinking, what did they do to get that 4? Well, this became 5, and if this is multiplication here, it looks like they divided both sides by 4. Because 20 divided by 4 gives us 5, and then those two would cancel out. So they divided. Okay. Then here, I notice that this n is by itself, and the 5 to the 7, that 5 becomes a 7. If I look here, it looks like they added 2 to each side. So they add 2 and they get 7. So now let's check and see if 7 is the correct solution. So we're going to do 4 times 7 minus 2 plus 2 times 7 equals 20 plus 2 times 7. Well, I look at this. I do my parentheses first. If we do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, 7 minus 2 is 5. I don't have any exponents. Multiplication, we go from left to right. So 4 times 5 is 20. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 7 here is also 14. They both equal 34. So yes, we get the correct answer. So look to see what's different and then how they got there. It's always going to be the inverse operation of what is shown. So like multiplication was here. We divided by 4. Minus 2 is here, so we added 2. Now, for your homework tonight on the top, you are going to create an equation below. So you might say you're going to make your complete own. So you might say add 2. Then they're going to add 2 to both sides. So this, everybody is going to probably have a very different answer. Then you're going to check to make sure that 19 is your right solution. Number 3, you're going to find the mistake that they did here. And then number 4, you're going to write in your own words how they got to each. I helped you out by writing the 3M here and the M here to help you figure out what to do. You're going to say what they did and then show it. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great rest of your day.